Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy BOJ here on a Saturday, April the 25th, 2026. Y'all forgive me. I'm going to be talking a little bit soft today because my son is asleep behind me, but it's so important for me to bring this video to you guys because there's so much to talk about. There's so much to discuss with MoveQuest, where it is right now. I think before the last video I did, it was before we even saw a new color scheme be introduced to the MoveQuest community. So we're going to talk about a lot of the things that are going on in MoveQuest right now, things that are in the back office that I do believe that you need to know is there for you. You need to see that is there for you. I want to start this off by saying MoveQuest is the most amazing opportunity in the decentralized space today. Where else do we have the opportunity to mine a true token, a true coin called MQT with our physical bodies? We can take that MQT and we can swap it for other tokens. We are able to use it in the ecosystem. It's just an amazing opportunity that we have. You don't have to be an Olympian. You don't have to be the most physically fit person in the world. But if you are, this thing is going to mesh perfectly for you. But if you aren't, this thing I do believe is the perfect opportunity to get you started in that journey of moving your body, but also rewarding you for the physical movement that you are already currently doing. All right, not having to do any more, not having to do any less, what you're already currently doing. There's not another opportunity out there that is doing anything like MoveQuest is doing with the success that MoveQuest is having. We're talking about a community of about 1,500 to 2,000 submitters on a day-to-day basis, and we're still seeing a token price of $6. Can you imagine? First of all, there are not any other move to earn, let alone any other projects out there that I know of that have less than 2,000 people engaged currently in the project and still has a price over $1, let alone, $6. So with that being said, I want to also say this. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and I am not your financial advisor. I am just a dude on YouTube that's been showing you guys these platforms and programs for years now. But I finally feel like I have something that I'm willing to say no to everything else to first and really work and learn as much as I can from the MoveQuest community. And I'm learning so much about crypto. I'm learning so much about a true decentralized project. I'm learning so much about blockchain and how it's developed, and I may never know all the stuff about blockchain and be the biggest blockchain expert that there is in the space today. But you know what? MoveQuest has given me the opportunity and the motivation to learn more about everything that's going on, like liquidity. And Lynette has taught so much about the tokenomics of this project and how liquidity pools really are supposed to work and how this project works. And there are so many projects out there that are constantly getting people's attention, and I don't believe that MoveQuest is getting the type of attention that those projects are. And I do believe that it's a good thing because when you put MoveQuest in this space, in a space where things don't last, you see MoveQuest stand alone at the top in a time where things are. I mean, we're hearing about projects going away left and right, some that I've heard of and have talked about, some that I have not even heard of, but have whole communities involved in them. And these communities are going to be looking for a place to go. I would raise my hand, I would raise both my hands. And I would say, if you are looking for a true decentralized opportunity in this space that works, that can change your life both fiscally in our wallets and physically in our bodies, I do believe that MoveQuest is the best opportunity out there. So, like I said before, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. I'm just a dude on YouTube showing you guys how I'm cranking it out in many different projects and opportunities like MoveQuest. Actually, this is the only one I'm really doing right now. So anyway, I'm going to jump in and we're going to talk about the new things that are of MoveQuest. So let's jump into the dashboard. Well, not the dashboard. This is the home page of MoveQuest. And as you can see, the color scheme of MoveQuest has changed. All right. Now, if you haven't noticed this on your application, the application is no longer a neon green. It is a orange. All right. So this right here is the MoveQuest homepage, MoveQuest Fitness, that pays you back. This is built for people who move and people that build. All right. There is so much opportunity here with MoveQuest, not only from the mining standpoint and for the moving standpoint and the things that this can do for our physical bodies, but the folks that are out there that are true sharers of decentralized projects in this space. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that MoveQuest is going to have everything that you need to see to make a decision on whether you want to build with MoveQuest or not. I personally believe that they've done a lot of stuff over the time that I've been involved with MoveQuest, which has been almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in August that I have been moving and grooving and building and sharing MoveQuest with my community and sharing it with the world the most that I can. And I'm just so excited about the opportunity that it's given us. It's given us a chance to not only move and mine, but it also has given us a chance to stake, using the hatcheries. And I've noticed that so many people are starting to get more and more excited about the abilities that the hatchery has, but they also understand that the scarcity of the hatchery is you have to move quick. And for those of you that have not understood from MoveQuest so far, listen, as MoveQuest has been so grateful to extend so many things and so many opportunities that they've given the community, ladies and gentlemen, we need to be better at jumping on those opportunities so that when they come to the end of their time, we're not sitting around complaining about, oh, what MoveQuest did wrong. No, we need to stay engaged, ladies and gentlemen. We need to stay engaged in the project if we want the project to work for us. And this is a note for the new people. This is a note for the folks that may have just been watching MoveQuest, and this is for the folks that have been involved in MoveQuest. There have been so many moving pieces, I understand. But with this right here, they have given us so many opportunities in MoveQuest to know what's going on. So make sure that we are staying engaged. Make sure that we're getting in the social media groups and the Telegram group or the Discord group that they have. I have my own Telegram group as well. So I just wanted to really kind of show you the new color schemes. A lot of this stuff here has been here on the website for folks to be able to take advantage of. But I think it's also cool that also when they have a dark mode, they have this thing called light mode that you can click at the top, and it'll give you a whole new perspective on what this homepage looks like. All right. So I invite you all to check that out. It has a lot of information about the token itself. The light paper is here, so you can jump back here and you can download the light paper. And for those that are really interested, you can take a look at MoveQuest's light paper. All right, they have it on the website. For the community tab, they have joint challenges. We're gonna have challenges and different things showing up pretty soon that keep us engaged in the platform, keep us engaged. I think MoveQuest Games is gonna be our first MoveQuest challenge, and it is gonna be going down in May. I think in either the end of May or early June. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I will be a participant in the MoveQuest games, ladies and gentlemen. So that's going to be an exciting thing for me. I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to do that. And I want to lead from the front. I'm considered a leader in MoveQuest. I'm considered a leader in this space. And the type of leadership style that I have is I like to lead from the front. So I'm going to be involved in that. I'm going to have to continue on my journey with staying in shape and all that great stuff. So I'm a great representation, but I don't want folks to feel like you have to be in the best shape to participate in the MoveQuest games or in MoveQuest in general. This could be a part of your journey. This could be a part of how you get into shape. This could just be a part of how you supplement your day. You might do a lot of walking already. I know a lot of friends and family that work in the restaurant industry and the entertainment industry, hospitality industry, and they have to deal with a lot of footsteps. They have to take a lot of steps in a day. This is a perfect way to supplement what you are doing already. So I want to go to the dashboard. There's a few things that I want to kind of talk about. I've already mentioned that the back office here has gone through some improvements here, and I love what they have done. First of all, the dashboard, and I'll get back to the Get Started tab in a second, but the dashboard has become a place that you can find things extremely easily, right? Whether it's starting from the top and you want to deal with seeing what the price of MQT is, right? Now, while they also have the price right here in the back office, you can click on tokenomics and you can see all of the information about tokenomics. I'm talking about the general overview, but not just that. The supply, the absorption ratio, the liquidity, the contracts, and the glossary of the MoveQuest token is right here in your dashboard, all right? So if you click on dashboard and you see the tokenomics button right here, you'll also get links that will take you to Dex Screener, CoinMarketCap, and CoinGecko, all right? Right now, the MQT token price is at $6.11, all right? That's very impressive, okay? One thing that I love to kind of look at is the absorption ratio. Now, I'm still learning about crypto, all right? So here's what the absorption ratio is. The absorption ratio describes supply structure. It's a transparent metric, not a price guarantee. A high ratio means selling pressure is structurally limited by design, not by market conditions. Always do your own research before making investment decisions. So when it comes down to the absorbed supply and the liquidity, which we're learning more about, we're sitting here with a coverage of 136% versus circulating MCAP, a market cap. The different contracts from the vault to the mint contract renounced to the liquidity vault and the pool, the mining pool, the incubator nest and golden hatcheries. All these contracts are here for you to see, and it's very transparent what is there, all right? They even give you a glossary to share with you what some of the terminology that is being used is, okay? So MoveQuest has made it its mission to make sure that you have at your fingertips every bit of information about MoveQuest MQT that you could have, that you can even digest. There's a lot of people that can't even digest some of this stuff. But I do believe that this information is very important because we have a lot of people that really want to be a part of true cryptocurrency projects, true cryptocurrency protocols. And in this space right now where you've got all these different projects that claim to be exchanges and they claim to be this and that and doing this and that, and all you got to do is make a deposit and withdraw as often as you can. Like, that is not how crypto works. And I'm learning that more and more and more the longer I've been in the space. Now, what I will say is crypto has the functionality that we've been using over the years. We can always send something to somebody else. Now, that receiving, when we click a claim button, I have gotten so used to MoveQuest now that, when I'm out here and I do the work and I share what MoveQuest is and people purchase their Q chips so they can get their first miners, and then I'm able to go into my networking tab and I'm able to do a claim of the rewards and commissions that I just earned for myself. I'm able to get those immediately, and they are distributed by smart contract. It's not me having to click a button and then hope and wait and like, will it come? I claim it. It's already there for me. I claim it like I would claim actual cryptocurrency transaction. That is the way that it's supposed to work. All right. No one is supposed to have, in a true decentralized program or platform, no one is supposed to have control of your money. Now, what we do usually in these platforms that we have been a part of for the last few years is we give them control by sending them our crypto, right? With everything that we do inside of MoveQuest, we have our crypto in our wallet, and then we make a decision on what we want to do with it via smart contract, right? So when I had to purchase my miners, I had to make a decision and press a few extra buttons, right? It wasn't just me getting a wallet address and then sending crypto to it. It was me having to say, okay, I have this crypto in my wallet. It's going to ask me if I want to use it to purchase a miner or to purchase Q chips. I'm going to either say yes or no. And then it's going to pull up a tab from my MetaMask browser on my Google Chrome saying, hey, is this what you wanted to do? It's going to call the smart contract. It's going to do what it does. And then it's going to make the transaction happen. All right. So I just want to say that because there's a lot of platforms out there that don't require you to do that. And you may think that this is hard stuff. You may think, oh, that extra step is just like too much for me. Ladies and gentlemen, that extra step is everything that crypto is about. It's about the transparency, but it's also about doing things that you are deciding to do. All right. There's no other person making that decision but you. All right. It's about accountability. We have to be accountable of the decisions that we make in this space. All right. So with that being said, when we're in MoveQuest, when we're in crypto, make sure we're doing things nice and slow, especially if you're not used to the process. If you're purchasing miners, if you're purchasing Q chips, do it slow, all right? There are videos about just about everything that you can do. There's videos or documentation about just about everything that you can participate in the MoveQuest ecosystem in your back office, all right? So take some time, go to the dashboard, do some exploration, okay? If you have not connected your wallet and activated, they have buttons that get you right there. Of course, the get started is where you want to start. My wallet is already connected. You want to make sure that you have Avalanche in your MetaMask wallet. I want to repeat that 2 more times so you guys hear me. You want to make sure that you have Avalanche in your MetaMask wallet. One more time for the folks in the back. You want to make sure that you have Avalanche in your MetaMask wallet, okay? Then you would connect your wallet. You hit next. If you are under my link, if you're on my team, it may ask you for activation code. All you got to do is type in Bank of Jarrell, BANKOFJHAROL. If you got the link from my YouTube channel or from my Telegram group, or you got it directly from me, all right, it should already have it in the link, which means that when you pull it up here, it should automatically connect you to me, all right? And that goes for anybody that you may be joining out there. If you got a video, if you got this video from someone else and you're joining them, but they're just using me as a point of reference, make sure you get their activation code. It might look like a wallet address if they have not come in here and changed their username. So I just want to put that out there, so just so you're prepared. Make sure you go get the mobile app. The app is in both the App Store on your Apple phones and the Google Play Store on your Android phones. So go and download the app so that you can have a seamless transition. You can now enter the app without having to set up a PIN, okay? So you can get in the app without having to set up a PIN, but you will eventually need to set up a PIN, and that's the most important thing to do, especially for security settings. When you go to settings, you want to make sure that you set up a PIN and save it, okay? I also suggest that you set up a username and save it, because when you set up a username, what that will allow you to do is, if you are sharing this with others, I do believe it's a much more efficient process when I can go and I can go to my networking. I can just click here and say, hey, I need to copy my link. It's going to be movequest.com/start/Bank of Jarrell, or whatever your username is, all right? For those of you that are interested in the influencer program and how to earn even more for sharing this opportunity with others, please reach out to me, all right? I would love to help you make more money with MoveQuest. There's nothing that would make me more happy, other than the, regular life stuff. There's nothing that would make me more happy in this space and in MoveQuest opportunity than to help people make more money, all right? I believe that's what we've all been trying to do over the span of time that we've been in this space. We are all trying to change the financial trajectories of our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, sharing something like MoveQuest with others can not only grow the project, we know that's going to happen, but it can literally change your life, okay? So I just want to say that. I've been saying that, and I will continue to say that, all right? And I truly do mean that. This platform, this program, this protocol has changed my life, and I'm so excited to continue to share it. Now, I want to get to the hatcheries real quick, because there are a few different things in the hatcheries, okay? Now, I want to make sure you guys understand, at the top right, there is a hatcheries guide that you can click, and you can get all the information that you need on the hatchery, from the nest to the golden to the incubator hatchery and everything in between. Now, it says mint Vanguard miners here, and I know that that's going to change, because what we see is the ability to not only mint Vanguards, right, but we can now mint the Trailblazer, the Explorer, the Vanguard, and the Titan right here from the incubator, and we ought to clap that up, because here's the importance of that, all right? This incubator hatchery was something that allowed us, I'll speak from my personal experience, it allowed me the opportunity to get a whole bunch of Vanguards early in my time, right? Yes, I had to put a little bag together. right? But I knew that I wanted to be a Titan holder. And the only way that I had the ability to get to a Titan at that time is to get as many of these Vanguard miners as I could and then get ready to merge them together, all right? Now, all of that costs, okay? So I'm not gonna sit here and say that that's free or anything like that, but it's well worth the investment. I have been mining with Titan miners happily for a long time, and we'll get into all that. This is gonna be a long video, so just bear with me. But this incubator hatchery really does a lot to allow us to build our miner stash, especially for those of us that want Titans. Not only can we get the incubator or incubate the Vanguards that we need to get the Titans, but we can go ahead and get the Titans right away. So for those of you that have big dreams, you want to be filling all your docking slots with Titans, and we know that there's 18 docking slots available, and you want 18 Titans, yeah, it's going to cost you a pretty penny, right? It's going to cost about what looks like a little over 14 grand, closer to 15 grand. If I'm, what's 7,600 times 2? 7,600 times 2. If I get my calculator out here, 7,600 times 2 is $15,000. All right. So as you can see, these miners are very, very valuable. They may be expensive, but they're extremely valuable. All right. The ability to mine MQT and MoveQuest with our physical movement for the rest of our lives. I'm going to own these miners for the rest of my life. As you can see in my inventory, I have quite a few. So when leasing comes and, you know, all the different stuff comes, you know, I'll be able to lease my miners. I have 18 docking slots filled with Titans right now. I've been at this for a long time. So don't feel like you have to get to this right away or anything like that. There are so many things that you can do to start building your bag of, or your stash of miners. So I just wanted to bring that up. One thing that I also wanted to bring up here is for those of us that have been mining with Titans, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you saw our submission fees decreased significantly. As a matter of fact, they decreased by 50%. I was paying $7.40 something a day to mine with 18 Titans. Now, mind you, I was perfectly fine with that. There are some days that I had to miss because I didn't have that $7 worth of crypto in there at the time, and whatever the case may be. But ladies and gentlemen, with them doing this, and then of course they explained to us that, you know, there are going to be different things over time as the community grows that help our submission fees go down. But what the Titan holders were paying in submission fees, they could afford to decrease. Now, they didn't decrease anything else, but for those of us that had Titans, they pulled our price down to submission to 21 cents per miner, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's something else that's worth clapping up. I think that that's awesome. And I think that that's going to be a reason that a lot of the folks that came out, jumped out the gate and got Titans early and may have figured that this wasn't something that they wanted to continue for whatever reason. This may be something that gets them more engaged, not having to pay as much in fees, submission fees per miner. So I think that's a big deal. Another part of the hatchery, ladies and gentlemen, the nest, okay? Now, I want to make sure that this is very clear about nest in the golden hatchery. To be able to get into the golden hatchery, which I understand is extremely popular to a lot of people right now. By the way, there's a little bit of space here in the, there's like little bit of space here in the tier 4 hatchery. People have been fighting for their spots in these hatcheries, ladies and gentlemen. I don't blame them, because this is the closest thing to what they're used to out in space. Out in the space, it's a lot of, hey, take your crypto, deposit it in here. You know, after a certain amount of time, it'll turn into this. All right. This is the closest thing that we have in our platform to that passive opportunity, right? But I do want to make sure that this is clear. You do not get your rewards from these hatcheries unless you are submitting your proof of physical activity every day. So that I do believe that there are some people that don't understand that. I think they believe, oh, I'm just put my crypto in the hatchery and I'll just leave it there and not do anything. I'll get less engaged. But what I'll do is I'll check back in, you know, 210 or 135 or 75 or 30 days to see what my reward has turned into. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you were not submitting your proof of physical activity on a day-to-day basis, your reward is going to be the same thing that it was when you put your MQT in there. 0. All right. The thing about the hatchery that makes it so beautiful is it it rewards you for doing what you should be doing anyway, holding your MQT and submitting your proof of physical activity. Holding our MQT and submitting our proof of physical activity. I'm gonna say it one more time, holding our MQT, not selling it is what that means. And of course, people have every right to sell it, right? But it's a mindset behind hodling. You're not gonna be a successful Bitcoin hodler by selling your Bitcoin. You're not gonna be a successful MoveQuest hodler by selling your MoveQuest. All right. So with that being said, I want to make sure that it's clear. First, you must go through the nest to get to the golden hatchery. Okay. You can get into the nest as many times as you see fit. All right. That's totally up to you. 100% your call on that. All right. But when you're done, you will have the opportunity to either renew your card, claim your rewards and what you deposited in there. You can decide to cancel right now if you wanted to, or it'll give you the option to migrate to the golden. All right. Now I have quite a few golden hatchery entries here. As you can see, my stats haven't loaded up all the way. Here they go. But right now, my current reward from a total deposit of 566 MQT to this point, value at deposit a little over $6,000 in MQT. My current reward with all the different cards that I have active right now is closing in on another 200 MQT for a current reward value of $1,100 and growing every day. Because what I'm doing, honestly, as these expire, I'm rolling them back in. Some of them I might not roll the whole amount back in. And one thing that I want to mention that was talked about on the call last night is there are going to be some parameters to how much we can roll back in, okay? Because here's the goal. The goal is not for a few people to hold up these tier 4 hatcheries forever. The goal is to have opportunity for everyone to take part in every one of the hatcheries that they want to. They may have to wait some time. They may have to be patient for another card to clear or to finish its time. But I do believe it's going to be like 70% of what you deposited in there or something along those lines you're going to be able to put back in there, while 30% you will have to take out and go back in the nest or do whatever you want to do with it. You can sell it at that point. But the goal is not to hold the hatcheries up so that everybody cannot participate, all right? Or so that whales come in out of nowhere and just hold those spots so nobody can participate, all right? This is a community project, and this is going to be a very key thing in our growth in MoveQuest because it gives us the opportunity to stake our MoveQuest, which allows MoveQuest to grow without that selling pressure, right? Because we're not going to be selling our tokens. Now, we can claim them at any time and sell them. Like some of these that have 8 days left, 52 days left. Some of these have been active since 2025, like October timeframe, as you can see. You know, for this card right here that's in the tier 4, I did, let's just use this as an example. I deposited 18 MQT, which at that time was worth $86 worth of MQT, I believe. The current reward I have on that is another 9 MQT, 20 days remaining. All right. I could choose to cancel this right now. I would lose out on this 9.2 MQT, but I would get my 18 MQT or close to 19 MQT back immediately, and I can do whatever I want with it. I could sell it. I could put it back in the nest. I can do whatever. That would be pointless to put it back in the nest. I'm going to let this finish. But we all have that option. There's nothing that is holding our money. So if you compared this to a passive platform out there, right? And you say, I put $1,000 in there and, you know, something happens, right? And you need to get that $1,000 back. You can go ahead and cancel it, right? And there's no skin off MQTs back because they were building a reward bag for you, right? Just for your submissions on a daily basis. As you can see, for this particular card, I submitted 121 times out of 130. And if I'm doing some quick calculator math, I still believe that's a pretty good percentage there. 121 divided by 130 is still 93%. So I've been submitting, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not just telling you to do anything I'm not doing, but because I've done that in this particular card where I deposited 60 MQT, I'm at a current reward of 18 MQT with 81 days left. So that's and counting, right? So a lot of people are familiar with the passive platforms. This is the closest way to it. Only we have a lot more security, a lot more flexibility, because in some of these passive platforms, you try to get your $1,000 back, they want 15 to 30 to 50% for some kind of early termination fee. And that's if they have any aspirations of giving you the money back in the first place. Because they just may tell you, oh, we're going to take 15% of that and keep it. But by the way, we're scamming out in a couple weeks, so we're not going to give it to you anyway. We're just going to let you wait for it. I've seen situations like that as well. So this is why we have to stay diligent and vigilant, but this is also why we need to pay attention to what real crypto protocols and platforms do, especially when they have staking mechanisms like the hatchery. All right, here's another thing that I want to mention. In the store where we purchase our boosts, this is very, very important, okay? I know a lot of us get very excited about using these boosts, and we should be, ladies and gentlemen, because they allow us to do a lot of things. They allow us to raise our limits for those of us that do a little bit more than what is called, right? It allows us to raise our performance and boost our performance for those of us that, maybe a tweener. You might be on the road to getting to that elite level of physical activity, right? But you're just on the road there. You might need a little bit of boost to get you a little bit more mining power or mining shares or MQT shares as you go along. The rest boost is there so that if you have a day that you really weren't that active or active as you usually are, it gives you an opportunity to not be penalized, all right? And it's really not a penalty because you're going to still get MQT if you submit your proof of physical activity. It may just not be the amount that you thought you was going to get because you were not able to take as many steps or work out as much. But what Rest Boost does is it takes your best day over the last 3 days and it says, you know what, we're going to submit your best day for your worst day, quote unquote. All right. Here's another thing that's very important. For those of us that are sharing MoveQuest, I want to let you know how essential Quest chips are. Okay. Quest chips are extremely essential. Not only to the person that you're sharing it with, because they will need it in their application to acquire more miners if they're not using the hatchery, right? If they're not using the incubator hatchery to get their miners, other way to get your miners to mint them and to mint them with Quest chips, all right? You have the ability to purchase Quest chips right here in the store, whether you're here on the MoveQuest DApp on Google Chrome, the browser on your desktop, or you're on the MetaMask app on your phone using the browser on MetaMask, and you're on MoveQuest.com on your MetaMask browser, which I do believe is the best way to access the DApp while you're on the go. Ladies and gentlemen, for every purchase of a Quest chip that is essential, all right, to getting your miners, the person that shared it with that person is going to get 50% of every Q chip that is purchased. And Q chips are only 10 cents. So can you imagine? You're going to might get a micro transaction of 5 cents, 10 cents here and there. But it takes a lot of Q chips to purchase a miner. It takes 1,000 Q chips to purchase one of the miners and 1,500 to purchase another one of them. But can you imagine for doing that work and sharing this with others and helping them get their miners, you're going to be getting a 50% reward in Avalanche or whatever the native token that they purchased that Quest chip on? Because you do know, for those of you that did not know, and for those of you that do know, we're going to be expanding not only into other blockchains, but we are going to have our own blockchain here at MoveQuest. All right. So I want everyone to be excited about what the opportunity is here. Because for helping people and for helping them get their miners and for helping them open their docking slots and different things like that, there are ways for you to earn more crypto, all right, for sharing. And this is not something that you have to wait on like a paycheck. That's the beauty of crypto. If you do the work now, you're going to get rewarded now, all right? So for those of you that don't believe me, share this with somebody. Share with them how you purchased your miners and how you got your Quest chips. And then I want you to go into your networking tab. Then I want you to go into this section here in the links. It says pay as you mine. And then I want you to see what happens in this section right here. All right. I want you to see where this claim button lights up and you're able to claim this avalanche for doing the work that you just did. All right. And like I said, for those of you that want to earn more money for doing things like helping people open their docking slots, ladies and gentlemen, get in contact with me as soon as possible. I'm not hard to find. Bank of Gerald at protonmail.com. You can find me on Telegram, Bank of Gerald. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, all those different places. If you type in my name, you'll find me. Shoot me a message. We can help you get involved. There's a support team here, all right? So after you've gotten signed up, you might feel like you're a little lost or whatever the case may be. There's a help center where they not only have a customer support where you can set an appointment or hop in during the hours that they have a Discord community that is always talking and always having dialogue 24/7 about MoveQuest and maybe some of the things that they love, some of the things they like, some of maybe the things that they don't like and would like to see improved. That kind of dialogue is going on in the MoveQuest Discord. Now, what I do want to make sure that you understand is that MoveQuest does not send out email communications, okay? So if you get an email from MoveQuest, understand it was not from MoveQuest. This is a decentralized project. It never asks you for your email. Now, you may have a third-party challenge or something like that that may ask you for an email, like the MoveQuest games. They ask you for an email so that they can keep in contact with you about the information about the MoveQuest games, okay? But, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes down to participating in MoveQuest, what that is, I want you guys to understand that they are not going to send you an email, all right? So let's stay diligent and vigilant in the space, especially as we share this with others. This is going to be a lot of people's first projects in the crypto space. Whether you're in it right now or you join a year later, 2 years later, because of how practical it is to think about, hey, I walk and run and do all this stuff with my body every day, whether I really want to or not. And then here's this cryptocurrency thing that I'm learning about or hearing about every day, whether I want to or not. I'm intrigued. I want to see how the combination of the two can help me with my life. There are going to be a lot of people that think like that, and they're going to want to see MoveQuest for what it is, all right? I highly suggest you get in MoveQuest.com, you start looking around, you get in contact with me or some of the other leaders. You might have not seen my videos before. You might have just been hearing from MoveQuest from someone that you know, and you just came across my video today because you wanted to do a little bit more digging into what you wanted to do for you, all right? I will always be a resource here. You can always reach out to me. I'm always going to be doing videos, and I know I haven't done one in quite some time, but events and promos, let's get to this. I know there's a lot to talk about here, so y'all just bear with me. Live schedules, I want to point this out because this is another opportunity for new people, for seasoned people, for older folks, veterans, the crypto enthusiasts, everyone in between, all right? Tuesday and Thursday night calls have been so much value, okay? These calls with Lynette and the team, Herschel and Hayden and everyone that's involved. Ladies and gentlemen, these calls have a lot of thought put into them, and they're not just there to talk about MoveQuest in its entirety. They're also there to help teach you about tokenomics and help to teach you about the certain things that make MoveQuest special. The certain things that a lot of these platforms don't take the time to teach you because they don't care that you know. They're ready to scam you. So the less that you know, the better for them. The easier it makes it for them to just say, oh, we had a hack and we had to shut the whole project down. No, MoveQuest just had a hack a couple weeks ago and we're still going very strong. Some may say, oh, well, our liquidity pool is this and that. You get to learn about what a liquidity pool is really supposed to do and how MoveQuest and the engagement in MoveQuest keeps MoveQuest alive. It doesn't need your new money. It just needs an engaged community. And as you can see, the liquidity will be fine. I mean, where you go to the global, maybe it's not the global stats here. Global stats is a great board here, but the tokenomics, and we're looking at a liquidity coverage of 136% with an FDV of 128 million, but we're talking about $1 million, 1,052,000 pool liquidity. So for those of you that don't know what a liquidity pool is, it even tells you. What is a liquidity pool? It is the on-chain reserve used to execute swaps. Stronger coverage generally means lower slippage. So they're teaching you along the way, ladies and gentlemen. It may seem like a whole lot at first, but what I'm going to encourage you all to do, and I'm going to challenge those that are up to the challenge, take the time to be engaged in this project, and you will learn more about cryptocurrency than you ever knew from this project alone. That's my challenge to the world. All right. So let's go back to the dashboard where there's so many amazing things here. We talked about the live schedules. I want to make sure that you guys know about the Saturday call. There's one going on today. It is an overview and a training. So for those of you that want to see what MoveQuest really is, I invite you to get on this call, 12 p.m. Eastern time today. That's in a few hours. You got some time. There will be training right after the call for what Aiden calls the A players out there. All right. So if you got some time to get on that call, get on that call, ladies and gentlemen, and learn as much as you can. All right. It'll take you some time, but I think it's important. All right. Continuing on, going to the dashboard, let's see what else we have to talk about. Minting miners, the mining doc, miner evolution, turning your miners into more powerful miners. All of that is right here. For those of you that may want to start merging and increasing your mining power, here is where you'd want to go. All right. It's going to cost you some MQT to do that. You can definitely purchase MQT. On the dashboard, you can purchase it at, let's see, where is it? You can purchase MQT straight up on SushiSwap. Maybe it's in the wallet section. There we go. Buy MQT on SushiSwap. All right. So if you're one of those people that is using Google Chrome and you have your MetaMask browser tied to it and you've already loaded your MetaMask or bought cryptocurrency on your MetaMask, it'll be very easy to get to this SushiSwap, because the MetaMask browser will connect to it as well, just like it has connected to the MoveQuest app here, the MoveQuest app, and you'll be able to buy MQT and it'll go straight to your wallet. All right. For those of you that we talked about the hack a couple minutes ago, this is what was in my wallet by the time they saw the hack. Now, of course, I already put in that Google sheet to do that. It's too late to do it now. Hopefully those of you that are paying attention, you got your Google Sheet in and you were able to get that information in so that they can refund you what was taken. And I do believe that they're handling the hack the right way. It just may take some time to get what the desired outcome is, which is to get that money back. But I didn't have that much in that wallet anyway. I may have had $100 worth of Avalanche, and you know they didn't take any Q-chips because they don't know what to do with Q-chips. All right, hackers don't know what to do with Q-chips. Those are a very MoveQuest specific token. All right. So anyway, we're going through all this stuff, but I want to also let you guys know that in this wallet section, you have the ability to fund your in-app wallet from your external wallet right here in the back office. So you don't necessarily have to go in here and click on the MetaMask Fox and jump back there and do that. Since it's already connected to your wallet, you can decide, hey, I want to move, maybe you want to move some Q-chips, right? I want to move some Q-chips into my in-app funding wallet, right? And I got 1,500 Q-chips that I can move into there, all right? So I'm going to do 15, I'm going to just do 1560, all right? If I choose to hit send, unsupported address value. Oh, hold on. Maybe, I have to connect my wallet again, all right? I don't know if for some reason it didn't connect. All right, so then it's asking me, do I want to send those Q-chips over? I hit yes. That was a MetaMask notification. And just like I was saying before, ladies and gentlemen, you want to know that you're working in a true decentralized platform in the crypto world, and you're dealing with MetaMask. It's going to ask you to confirm everything that you want to do. All right, it's not going to just let you do it. Okay. So as you can see, I have, let me see if it's moved those Q-chips. As you can see, it's moved those Q-chips into my in-app wallet. And I'll be ready to app sending wallet. See, so now I can go to my app wallet and I can use these Q-chips. Okay. So for those of you that may be purchasing Q-chips so that you will have the opportunity to go into the application and actually purchase the miners, when you purchase them here, they will go into your wallet, and then you will have to move them into your in-app wallet so that you can use them in the app and then assemble your miners there, all right? Claiming your MQT, ladies and gentlemen, all that's still the same. Every day that you wait to claim your MQT, it becomes cheaper to claim it. So if you claim it every day, it's going to cost you $10 a day. Who wants to spend $10 in AVAX a day to claim their MQT? I wait for the 10th day, all right? So as you can see on this chart here, every day that you wait, it goes down $1. So why not just wait that 10 days? What that helps happen, it helps to control the selling pressure of MQT, right? Because people aren't just selling it every day just because. But if it makes sure that if they're claiming it early, that MoveQuest is not taking some kind of crazy hit for them claiming it, because they're going to get whatever fee that they've charged. And of course, if you're pulling it on the most optimal day, it's going to reward you. All right. You can do whatever you want with the MQT when you get it. All right. It tells you how much there is. It should tell me pending claims here and how much 3.63 MoveQuest is worth. All right. That's what it usually says right there. So it says that 3.63 that I could claim right now is worth $22. Right. I would pay $2 in fees to claim it, but it's worth $22. And this, if MQT shot up to $100 today, it would reflect that in this pending claims as well. All right, so just want that to be clear for everyone. For this Q-chip history, as you guys can see, every day that you submit, you get Q-chips. All right, so if I go into my app right now, right, I'm gonna go into my app, MoveQuest app. All right, as you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that on my screen down there, but I'm opening the app. I'm going to the section where I do my submissions. Gonna make sure that I have everything that I want to select there. Boosts included. I know you guys can't see that because I'm trying to just move through this real quick. But once I submit my proof of physical activity, I'm going to get Q-chips. All right. So I have just submitted for April 24th, which was yesterday. All right. Now, as you can see, it says 0 right here, right now, right? I'm going to refresh this page. As you can see now, I have 74 Q-chips. Is that how you get 74 Q-chips, Gerald? So the way that this Q-chip worked from submissions is every day that I submit, I get Q-chips. So it's rewarding me for submitting every day. That's awesome, ladies and gentlemen. So I can jump in here and I can read this. Q-chip value is calculated from the submission fee value associated with miners only. Now you might be asking, well, you know, Gerald, they just decreased the fee that Titans have to pay. Does that decrease the amount that the Titans were giving? And it hasn't, right? So I used to pay $7.43 a day for having Titan miners, 18 Titan miners. And now I only pay $3, right? But I'm still able to claim that 74 Q-chips. All right. So I think that that's pretty cool. It's just another incentive to be a Titan holder. While we still pay the same as what Vanguard holders pay for fees, we are still getting the amount from submissions that we would as Titan holders. I think that's so cool. So I'm going to go ahead and claim my Titans right now. I'm going to claim them. All right. And when I claim them, they're going to go straight to my wallet. All right. So same process we did before. If I want to fund my spending, my in-app wallet with these 70 some odd Q-chips that I just earned, I need to go to the wallet section and I need to click on Q-chips in the drop down and decide how many I want to send. So if I want to send 76, the ones I just got, I click send. MetaMask is going to ask me if I want to confirm that transaction, and it's going to handle that transaction for me so that when I go to my app, I am able to go and assemble miners with them. Okay. So just so you guys know, when you're in the store and you're purchasing Q-chips for yourself, right? You may want to purchase them on your own so that you can go ahead and get your miners right now, right? You want to purchase them, and then you want to go to the wallet section where you will be able to send them and make sure you get them into your in-app wallet, all right? just wanted to make sure that that's clear for everybody. Let's go back over here to the dashboard, see if there's anything else I want to talk about. The mirror match challenge, I do believe, is officially winding down. There's about 30 days left in the challenge. It looks like I might actually be capping on that. May 16th is the last day of the challenge, so there's definitely less than 30 days. But ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have successfully been engaging this challenge, I just want to say congratulations and clap it up for all of you guys. It's all of you guys, ladies and gentlemen. So, well, it's not all of you, but all of you guys that have completed the challenge or done the best that they could to be a part of this challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say congratulations to you and you and you too, all right? Because what you have enabled yourself to do is participate in all these different blockchains in whatever capacity you see fit. You may decide that you don't want to even mine on any of those blockchains that are launched to us, but you will have the miners to lease them to others. There are going to be people that would much rather mine on the Solana chain because they want to use this to help them mine some Solana, right? Or they may want to be on Polygon because they want more Polygon, all right? Because in all reality, being on the Avalanche chain has allowed us to not only, of course, use Avalanche as the native chain, and all the fees are paid in Avalanche and all that stuff, and that's fine, right? So if we're Avalanche fans, if we're part of the Avalanche community, it's a seamless thing to be a part of to use MoveQuest, right? But for all those other communities that are using those other tokens, when it's time to maybe sell our MoveQuest, right? You may have seen this as a way that you're taking your physical movement and you are mining a coin that you really believe in, like a Solana, like a Polygon, like a Base, like Arbitrum or whatever comes, right? You have this as a way to continue to accumulate that token through the MoveQuest ecosystem. So, of course, while we accumulate in QT, all right? So all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is just an amazing opportunity that I hope everyone is taking a part in. Project mining, I just want to take a quick second to say there will be more projects that are going to be able to take part in the MoveQuest ecosystem. And ladies and gentlemen, each token will have its own mining schedule and its own requirements that are set by the project. So let's just say if Bank of Gerald wanted to start its own project right here in MoveQuest, I could say, hey, look, we're going to start the BOJ token. It's going to be powered by MoveQuest and the physical movement that we do. And if you submit your proof of physical activity on the blockchain through this project, we are going to be able to see growth in the BOJ coin and liquidity. And, I could plan certain events that people have access to for holding this coin or whatever the case may be. A bullish moon is going to be the first that we see of this. And they will have hatcheries. They have hatcheries available for folks to be a part of if you are in bullish moon community, as well as any other community that decides to join MoveQuest. You can visit their website. Bullish Moon, for those of you that don't know, is the place that I highly suggest you get your crypto education, okay? This is where I suggest you get your education on crypto. I even say you should come here before you just aimlessly search on YouTube, okay? Because this is what's going to allow you to bridge the gap between crypto and keep the dialogue going about MoveQuest as well, because they want MoveQuest to grow just like they want Bullish Moon to grow, all right? Let's see if there's anything else to talk about here on the dashboard. This dashboard helps you get everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. So even down to the different statistics about what's going on, the hatchery lock, social media, WhatsApp, Twitter, Discord, YouTube, Facebook. If you need more information, if you want to be a part of the community that is doing MoveQuest, you guys need to jump onto these social media places, okay? Get yourself informed, get yourself a part of the community. Make sure that you are setting up your usernames and your PIN codes and all that great stuff. Make sure you download the app. Make sure you watch the videos, tap around, click around, get in some of these things. They're giving you the ultimate transparency. I mean, they literally tell you how many wallets have how many slots open in their docking slots. They tell you how many people submit their proof of physical activity on a day-to-day basis, all right? And how much of MQT is distributed based on the formula that they have for distribution. It tells you how many mining wallets they are, how many docked miners there are, how many folks have how many miners. And I mean, they have more information than you could ask for. The basic, the new person here is gonna be overwhelmed probably with all this information. But take your time, okay? The main things that you need to understand. This is move to mine. That's what this is, okay? You will be given the opportunity to open these docking slots here, okay? I go to my mining dock, as you can see. These aren't available yet, but all the ones that are available, I have open. Ladies and gentlemen, how to unlock your MoveQuest dock slots. There's a video right there for you to watch. Claiming your phantoms. You have the ability as a new person, 135 days, you have the opportunity to use these phantom miners. It's not 30 days, not 60, not 90. We're talking about 130 days. You can literally, without purchasing a single miner, mine with MoveQuest. Okay? You may have to pay a proof of physical activity fee to submit your proof of physical activity so that you can actually get the MQT that you're mining. But that fee is going to be what? 10 cents per miner, $1.80 a day if you mine with 18, and you have the ability to control how many you mine with. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to mention real quick the global stats. For those of you that want to know about what's going on in the incubator, nest, and golden hatchery, you have the ability to see the global stats so that you can see. I mean, they'll even tell you the expiry schedule of the hatcheries. So you can see when the hatcheries are going to be freeing up some space. So on April the 25th, which is today, it looks like 15.86 MQT is going to be allowed, or folks are going to have the opportunity to have that free up. 62 on April 28th, and so on and so forth, 66, and so on and so forth. All right. So all that being said, there's a lot to digest here, but ladies and gentlemen, the thing that you really just need to do is get started. All right. Get some Avalanche in your MetaMask wallets. Get MetaMask on your phone, on your Google Chrome browser, on your computer, or whatever browser will allow you to have it. Make sure that it's loaded up. Go through the get started process. Mull around in the back office. Get your first few miners. Open your docking slots, ladies and gentlemen, so that you can plug miners into them. Use your phantom miners. Purchase your Q-chips. For those of you that are sharing this opportunity, help people get started. All right? And you'll be rewarded for your time. You will be rewarded for your time. There's not many places that are going to give you 50% on a 10-cent product that you can literally sell over and over and over again as those Q-chips. You know, people can buy as many Q-chips as they need, but you will always be rewarded for no matter how many Q-chips they purchase. Now, the Q-chips that they get on submissions, that's what they earned. All right? So you're not going to get any commission from that. Okay? They earned that from submitting their proof of physical activity on a day-to-day basis. But for you, you have the opportunity to help folks purchase them as they're getting started and all that different stuff. Opening their docking slots and all that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be so, so important that you stay engaged with this project. Stay excited, ladies and gentlemen. Get on these calls. Get on the call today at 12 noon. You don't want to miss a thing going on MoveQuest, especially as all of these different platforms are coming and going. MoveQuest has been around for longer than 2 years, going on 5. They've been building. They launched on the Avalanche blockchain in August of 2024. We are now in April of 2026, closing in, getting closer to May. And y'all, this is what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. All right. Let's get it cracking. Let's get going. Let's get involved. If you have any more questions, reach out to me. If I missed anything, forgive me. I'm going to continue to try to do more and more videos. My schedule It just gets crazy busy during this time. For those of you that know me, you know I'm a musician. We're in the wedding band industry, and there's a lot of cool things happening outside of this space for me. So bear with me in my time, but there's plenty of information. They do calls on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Make sure you stay engaged. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. Okay, I want to help you in MoveQuest. I don't want to participate in anything else. All right. And for all the folks that have asked me about other programs and opportunities, and have had to hear me respectfully decline, I wish you all the best. I do. But I don't think that there's anything else out here that is giving us the opportunity that MoveQuest is giving us. And I'm riding with MoveQuest till the wheels fall off, because I done rode with all this BS before and finally have something that I can feel very, very confident about and matches my lifestyle. It matches my family's lifestyle. So I'm excited to continue to talk about it, help people get involved. This is BOJ. Put your 2FA on all the platforms that will allow you and all your wallets, because crypto is indeed the wild, wild west, y'all. If you ain't strapped, you're bound to get hacked. Ask me how I know. It's not very fun at all. My little man is up. You up, JoJo? Ready to get dressed? All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.